Stoner 63 is already an incredibly versatile platform, as you probably know. However, the difference compared to most other systems out there is that the barrel is able to be modified past just chopping the end of it. Green Mountain Rangers did a great job of showing people what they were able to do by just chopping the end of the barrel and bringing it down to a reasonable length to either be a 12.5 or a 10.3 or 10.5 build to be able to be more maneuverable in CQB environments. However, there is much more that you can do to it other than just chopping the end of it and adding some threading to it. You're able to remove the entire charging handle assembly, as well as bringing the barrel's diameter down to be even lighter than the Stoner barrel already is. This video is not a tutorial on how you should use a lathe or anything like that. It's merely instructional and informational as to how I went about doing this mod. I've done this to 13 different Stoners now, both personal, team, and friends, and we've never had any issues with them so far. It's important to note that there are no spare barrels available for the Stoner 63, so whatever you do to this, you have to live with. Understand that all of these modifications are permanent. Before starting, decide on what barrel length you want your barrel to be. Provided in the description is prints for various barrel lengths that I have produced for people as well as standard barrel lengths. Start by measuring and marking the barrel where you want it to end. Create a second marker just outside of that because you can always take off more, but you cannot add more length once it's been cut. They also do not sell replacement barrels, so measure twice and cut once. Once you are ready, you can cut your outer barrel and inner barrel with the appropriate metal bandsaw. Now onto the lathe. Put the outer barrel into the lathe with a live center. Make sure that the barrel is running true and double check your work, and make sure that if you're doing it yourself, have someone else do the same for you. If this isn't done correctly, it could seriously injure or kill the user. For me, I like to start at the tip of the barrel. Start by jogging the barrel and making sure it won't fly off once the lathe is at full speed. Once this is set, start taking passes off for where the muzzle device will go. All of my prints are 14mm negative threading. If you want another thread and pitch, you will have to account for it yourself. Out of the many cuts you will be doing, this is one of the most important because if you mess this up, it means that you can't have a threaded muzzle device on your Stoner. Once finished cutting, take your outside micrometer and check the diameter to make sure that you are within the listed tolerances on the provided prints. You can now start on the next section of the barrel, which is the portion right before where the front sight post block will sit. I cannot say this enough, but constantly keep checking the diameter of your working area. Measure twice and cut once. If you are looking to have a smooth finish, make sure that you take a final pass that takes off less material and that is slow and consistent across the working area. As to not make this video an hour long, I'm going to skip past the cutting of the angles and removing the fluting to lighten it. Just follow the print for these sections. The tolerance and sizes listed on there are from what my experience shows me working on 10 different Stoners. When cutting where the front sight post block will sit, I really recommend taking your time. This is the most integral part of the process of stabilizing the barrel, as well as holding the front sight post block in place. You also want the smoothest finish that you can have here, so that you can easily slide the block on and off for maintenance of the stoner. Once you have finished the entire cutting process, you can then sand and polish with various grits of paper to receive the desired effect. I go for a smooth semi-gloss polish, mostly because the barrel will be painted and or Cerakoted and it adheres better in my opinion. Finally, you can thread the end of the barrel with your desired thread and pitch. Most common for airsoft is 14mm negative and 16mm negative, although all of my prints only account for 14mm negative thread sizing. You also want to chamfer and crown the inside of the tip of both of your barrels. Respectively, the same can be done for the inside of the inner barrel, however this must have a polished finish on it for the best results. When done correctly, the front sight post block should sit perfectly on the front of the barrel as such. When putting the barrel inside of the stoner though, you can see that the front sight post won't fit due to its square bottom. However, now you can see where it is going to fit and sit inside of the mock heat shield. Here, it can support and steady the end of the barrel. For this to work, you need to file down the front of the front sight post. You can also take it to a milling machine if you want to be precise, however not everybody will have access to those tools. As seen here, this is how you want the front sight post to sit inside of the mock heat shroud once it is filed down. This screw hole where the mock charging handle used to screw into will now be our set screw and stabilizer for where the front sight post sits. If machined correctly, the set screw hole on the front sight post and this screw hole should line up perfectly. Apologies as I lost the footage for this next part, so I will do my best to explain it. The black steel rod that was once part of the mock charging handle assembly can be cut down. The side that has the screw hole in it can be cut to fit inside this piece that holds the barrel in place. This part is needed if you want to hold the barrel in place, as to make sure it won't go anywhere. Once this is done, you can put the front sight post and barrel block back onto the barrel in their respective places. This is what the installation of it will look like. However, you can look forward to the entire assembly in part 5. Thanks for watching.